Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well. I thought I would do a bit of a different type of video again because lately I've been doing mostly just kind of lookbook style videos, so I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys. And I thought I would do my makeup at the same time, since I don't know, it's a bit awkward just sitting down and talking to the camera without doing anything. I wanted to talk about a particular topic, which is confidence or self-confidence, including but not limited to body confidence. So yeah, I've talked about that before, and it's been requested also, so yeah, I just thought I would talk about it again because people want to hear me talk about it. So I'm just using natural lighting today, so I look super pale, but I am super pale. So we'll see how that turns out. I've already done like my base makeup and my eyebrows because that's pretty much the same thing I always do. If you have watched like my Get Ready With Me videos, you've seen it before. So yeah, I'm just going to start doing my makeup, and I'm going to talk to you while I do it, and we'll see how it turns out. Feedback lately about like people sending me messages like, oh, I wish I was as confident as you are, I wish I had your confidence. I know it's meant to be a compliment, and it is, of course, it is a compliment, but I think that a lot of people, especially women, kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say people misuse the word confidence, but they kind of limit it to just body confidence or being confident about the way you look. And I think that's especially when it comes to women. When we talk about confident women, we kind of associate that with women who are confident about the way they look and about how their bodies look. And that's part of it, but that's certainly not all of it. And if you say that a man is confident, you don't necessarily think about it the same way, you know? So, by the way, if you haven't seen Taylor Swift's music video for her song The Man, definitely go check that out. Even if you don't like Taylor Swift, that music video is like, that was amazing. One of the best music videos I've seen in a while, so after this video, go watch that. But yeah, I think that for women, we do it ourselves, and society and media, everyone just kind of assumes that a confident woman is a woman who is confident in her appearance and doesn't care what other people think or think about her looks, especially. Tell me that, oh, I wish I had your confidence, but I'm not a confident person. I'm actually not, like, I am so insecure. And I suppose the one thing that I am really confident in, I'm just using my old Maybelline contour palette. So I guess the one thing that I am confident in is my body, or the way I look, and it hasn't always been that way. When I was younger, I was bullied a lot because I was fat, even though I wasn't actually really fat now, like looking back on it. I was just like a chubby kid. But for some reason I was different. I think, in a lot of ways, and that's what the weight is something that for bullies it's quite easy to kind of latch onto that and just talk about that. or like use it as an excuse to bully someone, even though that's not necessarily the whole reason. But yeah, so I used to really, when I was younger, I used to really hate myself and the way I looked. Like, I don't know, this might be a little like triggering to some people, so maybe skip a couple of minutes forward if you're triggered by kind of talking about eating disorders and stuff. But I definitely, even though I didn't have like anorexia or bulimia or anything like that, I definitely can see now when I look past into like look into the past, look back. Like this bitch is about to get her PhD in English linguistics. Anyway, when I look back to those days, when I was a teenager, I certainly had some like eating disordered behaviors, even though I didn't necessarily have like an eating disorder, but my relationship with food wasn't like healthy. I don't think so. Now looking back to it, it was pretty unhealthy at times. I really hated myself. I was in a very dark place when I was about 13, 14. And I don't think I never really got over it. It got easier when I got older, and I started to like make friends or make more friends. I had one friend back when I was younger, basically when at that worst time, like I had one friend, so shout out to you, Johanna. Still one of my best friends. But when I was like a bit older, like 16, 17, 18, I had a lot more friends, and that kind of, I don't know, it helped a lot to gain some kind of confidence, even though I still thought that I was fat and ugly, but I think all teenagers think that way, sadly. But I never really, I've never really been able to shake that feeling that I'm not good enough. Like, I feel that way all the time still, now that I'm 32. And I think a big part of it is because I was bullied, but like a part of it is also just like my personality. So I kind of have very high standards for myself in a way that, like, if I have some kind of achievement and I'm able to achieve that, and then I'll always just push the bar a little bit higher. Like, okay, so you did that, but that wasn't good enough. You didn't do it, you weren't quick enough, you weren't efficient enough, you weren't cool enough, you weren't pretty enough, you just weren't enough. Like, I'm never good enough. And that's something that I'm working on, like mentally and with like professionals. And I think that everyone who has that kind of feeling, if you constantly feel like you're not enough or you're not good enough, if you feel that every day like I do, I think it's good. It's a very good idea. It's good if you can talk to someone, at least like someone in your circle of friends or in your family, but the best thing is to get like professional help. So I would advise you to do that if you have that kind of feeling. But I also know that it's not like that necessarily for everyone. So for a lot of people it is about appearance, and I'm not, the fact that I'm saying that I don't think we should reduce confidence to just kind of talking about body confidence or confidence in our appearance. I don't want to like diminish it. Like it definitely has a big effect on your well-being if you hate your body or if you hate the way that you look, and it can also kind of bleed to other areas of your life. So if you feel that you are ugly, then you might also start to feel like inadequate in other ways. And I personally, I think that I'm more confident in my abilities and in my, like, for example like work-related abilities if I look good. So if I go to a conference and give a presentation, if I know that I look good and I feel good about the way I look, I know that I'm going to present more confidently. So it does have an effect, but I just I don't know, I kind of just wish that people would keep it in mind that it's not just about looks. It's not just about being fat or being too skinny or whatever it is that is your issue with the way you look. So yeah, but yeah, it definitely does have an effect on, like, you can't really separate it in my opinion. But to me it just feels funny that that people say that oh my god, you're so confident, I wish I had your confidence, because I'm not afraid to wear things that fat people shouldn't wear, or I'm not afraid to show off my body in a bikini or something like that. And people say that, oh my god, I wish I had your confidence. And then again, there are people who don't care about looks, who just don't care about the way they look, and they can be super confident about things that I'm not confident about, like career or intelligence. But yeah, like I said, I don't think the two can be really separated. I think it's yeah, both are definitely relevant, and they can affect each other. Like if you don't feel confident about your appearance, it affects the way you see yourself as a person, and if you don't feel confident about your skills, it may also reflect your appearance, because if you feel insecure all the time, it's going to show. And I think there is some truth to the belief that when people say that confidence is like the most beautiful thing you can have, or it makes you, the thing that makes you most beautiful is having confidence in yourself, because it kind of radiates outward. But then again, a lot of people think I'm confident, and I'm not confident at all. So I guess you can fake it. I think that like the important thing is to kind of have a kind of a discussion with yourself in a way, and try to find out the things that where you lack confidence, and then try to find something you are confident in, and then just kind of try to merge those, if that makes sense. So try to transfer the confidence from one area of your life to another, basically. That's what I'm going after. By the way, I used on my cheeks, I used this Dream Cheek palette. This is from Viva La Diva. I've had this forever, and I used these two. That one and that one. As you can see, I've used that highlighter a lot. This is a really good palette. I don't know if it's still available because it's super duper old. Oh, we're out of focus. But yeah, for me it's the biggest issue, at least at the moment, is that I'm not confident about my abilities as a researcher. I'm not confident about my skills, like academic skills, and how, like, my potential as a kind of the potential that I have for a career, for an academic career. And that's something that it really does worry me, and I have a really bad case of the impostor syndrome. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically like you think that you're doing well and everyone's telling you that you're doing well, but you think that you're fooling everyone, that you've somehow you really don't know anything, and you've somehow fooled everyone into thinking that you're capable and you have these abilities that you really don't. So you're an imposter. And that's very common in academia. It's very common in a lot of fields. And again, I think it's especially with young women, it's very common. So that's kind of what I'm working on at the moment. I'm pretty okay with the way I look. Like, I kind of miss the times when my biggest problem was the fact that I was fat. Again, I don't mean to kind of belittle anyone else's experiences. If your biggest issue is the fact that you are fat or you are thin or whatever, and you don't like your body, if that is the biggest issue for you at the moment, I don't mean to, like, that's completely valid and you are completely valid. It's just, to me, it's just like funny that people envy me for something that's like really not my biggest concern at the moment. And I think that also shows that you can be like, we never really know people. You can look at someone and think that, oh my god, she's doing so well. She's like, I know that there are people who look at me and they think that, oh, she's doing so well. She has all that. She just finished her PhD and she has dogs and a house and a husband and all these fabulous dresses, and she feels so confident wearing them, and she just has it all. And in a lot of ways I do have it all, and I am very grateful for everything I have, but it's still not it's never the whole truth, you know? You never just know. People are so, we are so self-involved, and we are so wrapped up in our own in our own life situations that most of the time we don't even notice that someone is going through someone's going through a hard time, and someone has a lack of confidence. If it's lack of confidence in an area that doesn't really that we are not personally really concerned about, you know. My PhD thesis, by the way. It's a whole book. I wrote this and I still think I suck because I don't have any confidence in myself as a researcher. What should I do with my eye makeup? I've been rambling on for like forever. Color. I'm wearing pink, so I don't know, maybe like some orangey red type of situation. I have the Life's a Drag palette by Manny MUA. I really love this. I'm like obsessed with this palette. I use it all the time. It has a really good mirror as well. I got it, it was on sale on Beauty Bay. I don't really I'm not that into all the influencer collaborations, but this was such a good deal, and also I do really like Manny. So I picked this up. So I'm going to take that color, Sickening, and put that on the crease. It's difficult to give people tips on how to be more confident, and now I'm talking about the like being confident about your looks, or like body confidence, because people are so different, and I don't know, a lot of people say that you should just like tell yourself you're beautiful in front of the mirror like 10 times a day. And for me that doesn't work. For me it just feels kind of awkward. So one thing that I was actually like told by a mental health professional was to just write down all the bad things that I think about myself, and then imagine that you're saying it to like your friend, like your best friend, or someone who's really important to you. And it just makes it has a really, at least for me, it had like a really powerful impact, because it makes it like it really shows how horrible we can be to ourselves. Like we can be like totally awful. And we would never, and usually these are things that like a normal human being would never say to another person, unless you're a bully or some kind of, I don't know, psychopath. But yeah, like a normal person wouldn't say those things to anyone else, and yet we tell ourselves those awful things. And because the person in your life who you should love the most is you. I know it sounds corny, but it's true, and it's also something that I'm struggling with, because when I went to therapy, I was asked that, or the therapist asked me that, what things do you think that your husband or your friends or your family, what things do you think they like about you? And I had a really, really hard time coming up with things to say. Like, I genuinely realized that, oh my god, like, what? I don't know why people like me. Do they even like me? Like, I had this kind of moment of panic. And then when I really thought about it, I did like come up with things like, okay, I'm a fairly good good listener. If someone else has worries they want to talk about, I can be funny. I have no problem in like new awkward social situations. I can like break the ice. I can even, if I make a little bit of a fool of myself, I don't mind. So, and I guess I'm not like a complete idiot. I mean, I wouldn't, this wouldn't exist if I was like a complete idiot. I am an idiot in many ways, but not like, I know that truly, like on an intellectual level, I'm not like a complete idiot. So, but it was really hard to like think about those things, and I noticed that that none of the things that really mattered, that I was really like concerned with, none of those things had anything to do with appearance, which was a bit of a shock to me, but it just goes to show that it's not all about appearance. Okay, I want like a bright orange color, so I have this BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and these are kind of metallic shades. I usually apply them with just my finger because I've found that that's the best way to do it. But yeah, I think that the thing I was talking about earlier, like finding something that you are confident in, and trying to, something about yourself that you feel confident about, and trying to kind of transfer that feeling of confidence to other areas of life. I mean, it's not easy, it's something that I'm personally still working on, but that can be helpful. And also, another thing that my therapist said was that I should try to think of like past experiences that where I thought that I couldn't, like things I've already done to help myself, like past experiences where you succeeded and where you felt good about yourself. I think like focusing on those things, you can also think, okay, maybe like this, whatever it is that you're going through right now, you can make it through that. Like for me personally, the first time I had, I've always, because I've been bullied, and I've had these kind of bad experiences from school, from public speaking. I've always been kind of insecure about that. So I used to be really nervous about public speaking, and I still am, but not as nervous as I used to, I guess. So yeah, I was trying to think of, because I have my, like the public examination of the PhD thesis is coming up, and I know there's going to be a big, well, I don't know if it's going to be a big crowd, but it's like a public event, so anyone can come and listen to that. So it's still going to be one of the most like nerve-wracking experiences of my life, I know that. The way I'm trying to prepare for that is to think about like past experiences where I was in a kind of a similar situation. So, should I go with this? Okay, I guess that works. So one thing is like my first conference presentation, the first time. I went to England, to Oxford, and I had my first conference presentation there as a PhD student, and I was so nervous. Like I thought I wouldn't be able to do it. I thought that it would be like that I can't do it, I will like pass out, I will die. I can't. But then when I was in that situation, it was actually pretty okay. And even like after the presentation, like this woman came up to me and said that like it was one of her like favorite presentations of the whole conference, and I was like, oh, it was my first one ever. So yeah, that was a really nice experience at the end. So thanks, Michelle. I don't think you watch these videos, but just in case. But yeah, so that's one experience where I can like go back to that situation and how afraid I was and how it still turned out fine. And also another one when I used to teach, and I had to teach, well, it was my job to teach English grammar, and that's not my like not like a interest of mine. Let's put it that way. I was really nervous, and right before the first lecture, I remember I sent my husband a text message that like, I can't do this, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to leave, I can't do this. And he just said that it's going to be okay, don't worry, like, you can do it, you can do it. And I did it, and I did it multiple times. Like, I taught multiple courses for multiple years. And yeah, kind of drawing on those kinds of experiences, to me, it's helpful to just to kind of remind yourself that it's not like you have survived everything in your life this far, so you're gonna survive in the future as well. So that might be helpful if you have some kind of specific event or something coming up that you're worried about. Yeah, I feel like I should talk about body confidence in like separately, because I think that's like what most people want to hear, and I don't really have an easy answer to that one. I'm sorry, but I don't. I think I want to put something really pink in the inner corner, so I'm taking the Life's a Drag palette again, and I'm using the shade Kai Kai to... I'm just going to put that in the the corner of the eye, like a pop of pink. I love pink and orange together. There's a bit of fallout there. So everyone has their own kind of journey when it comes to body confidence, and I think I've said this before, but I would say like take photos of yourself and film yourself if that's possible. You don't have to start a YouTube channel or a blog or anything like that, but at least for me, just seeing how I actually look like because I was kind of had an imposter syndrome in that that way as well. That I thought that when I took a good photograph, I was like, oh well, that's just a flattering angle and stuff like that. So I started to film myself in my outfits just to see how it really looks like from like every angle. And then it was a lot easier to believe that, okay, that's how I actually look like. So that would be my, if you have a chance to do that, that would be my advice. I'm going to put this color bead here, where in the middle, kind of where the pink and orange meet. I think my other advice would be just to, for like when we're talking about looks, would be just to take baby steps, because you're not going to go from like wearing black every day and hiding your body to just suddenly putting on a like a string bikini or something like that. And you shouldn't, like, that's kind of an unrealistic goal to set yourself, so don't do that. Just try like a little bit at a time. Try wearing a brighter color, maybe doing different makeup, wearing something like, if you wear a top that's very loose fitting, maybe wear like tight jeans that really show off your legs, or if you're insecure about your legs, maybe you can wear leggings, and maybe you can wear something like a crop top or something a little more how should I put it? Not necessarily revealing, but something a little more that stands out a bit more, like on top. So don't feel like you have to go all out like immediately. It's just like with everything else in life, you have to practice, and it gets easier in time. I can't really tell you when it gets easier, because that's individual for everyone. This is a new product I ordered from Colourpop. So this is this stick light. Oh, that was satisfying sound. Let's do that again. So this is like a highlighter stick, and I really like it because it's just easy to blend with your fingers, and it really makes, it has the glow. You know, I love the glow. I gotta have the glow. I gotta have the glow so much that I am going to put some powder highlight on top of that. This is from Makeup Revolution. Highlighter Reloaded. Set the tone. So yeah, I don't know, maybe you can, if there's something like specific about body confidence that you want to ask, or about anything, you can post it on the comments, and I can make like a Q&A video that's a bit more specific. Being body confident or body positive or loving your body, whatever terms you want to use, that's not like a straightforward path. Like there's going to be ups and downs, and I still have some photos that I won't post on Instagram because I think my belly line is too visible, or I like my arms, like I always look at my arms in photos, and I'm like, oh, this is such a cute photo, but my arms, and like I have fat arms. I have them in all photos. In some they are more prominent than others. So yeah, baby steps. And if you have like a little bit of a setback, then don't think that it's just like back to square one. I'm using this concealer to clean a little bit of the fallout. This is also from Makeup Revolution, and this is the best. This is the Supersize Conceal and Define Full Coverage concealer, and it's basically the only thing that will cover my under eye area. So I did my liner and lashes off camera, and now I just have to do the... Hey! My dog is here. I just have to do the lips, and I know the official beauty guru rule book says that if you have a bright eye look you have to do a neutral lip, but I don't care. As one of the great thinkers of our time, great speakers of our time, Nicki Minaj said, I give 0 fucks and I got 0 chill in me. So we're gonna do a bright lip. I have 2 new lipsticks that I also got from Colourpop. These are really cool. They're from the Disney Villains collection. So I have one that's the Evil Queen, and then I have Cruella. So I just have to decide which goes better with this look. Cruella is like a really bright red, and Evil Queen is a bit more on the colder side. Let's see what Cruella looks like, because I feel like it's more orangey, and we all also already have this kind of tropical vibe going on. Is this Cruella? Yeah. Yeah, I think it works. Yeah, I'm glad I went with this one. So now we're really like bright and happy with a dash of anxiety. I'm also going to put on perfume. Perfume is a good way to increase your confidence, I think, if you're not allergic to perfume. I got this from my husband for Christmas. It's the Si Passione by Giorgio Armani. I love it. It smells so good. Alright, so that's the finished makeup look. Let me show you what I'm wearing. Sorry, the mirror is really dirty, but I'm wearing this pink bandage dress from Boohoo. It's a lot brighter than it looks in this lighting, but yeah, I think it's cute. I had to tie the back because it's a bit too big, but yeah, cute. Okay guys, this was a really long video. I hope some of it made sense. I'm sorry I couldn't give you really concrete tips on body confidence, especially, but I hope you can use something that I mentioned. And as I said, maybe you can, if you have some questions, more specific questions, you can put it in the commenting section, and I can do like a Q&A type of video if I get enough questions. But yeah, and actually I was reminded, because I'm wearing the bandage dress today, that someone asked how I got the confidence to wear bodycon dresses. It's basically just I wore them at home first, and like I said, I filmed them, took photos, and if it looked good, if I felt good in it, then I started to wear it outside the house as well. But There are still days when I don't feel like wearing a bodycon dress, and that's okay. But usually like something big and baggy is like more likely to make you look big, if you know what I mean. So if you try out some bodycon dresses, you might find out that you actually look smaller. But yeah, I just remember that that was one question that I got from one of you guys. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!